Well, box ticked. On to the next thing. Let's make some money. Um, I accepted a fight about a week and a half ago. And so I started training twice a day and taking it seriously. Put everything else on my life on hold because, after all, that is, training was the reason I was in this country to begin with. So it doesn't make sense to not train and focus on other things. And I had my flight booked the day after my fight. So I didn't know my opponent, I just knew that I was fighting on the 4th. Started training like maniac, in there twice a day, kicking ass. My coach tells me about one opponent that I could be fighting. I watch some of his previous videos, and he's this like old Thai dude that's like super shit and out of shape, and it wouldn't really have been fun. So that was like a week, halfway through the week, and I was like, yeah, whatever, as long as I get to fight someone, ideally someone easier. It'd be nice to leave with a win after that intense first fight, but I'm fine fighting someone equal or fighting someone even better than me because still learn a lot from that shit. After on the first, I think that was the Friday, so the first 3 days before the fight, my coach pulls me to the side during training and shows me my potential opponent. He tells me that he's supposed to be 84 kilos and I'm 80, so I'd be fighting 4 kilos up, and that guy had 2 fights before, or 1 fight before, so it would be fairly equal. He's a German dude. I meet the dude, I shake his hand, and he like death grips my fucking hand and says, hello. I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is gonna be intense. He was like, a little bit shorter than me, but he had some mass, he had some bulk. We both got on the scales. I was 79, he was like 90, something like that. So my coach called that off, obviously. Well, not obviously, but that would have been pretty fucking intense. One of his leg kicks would have cut my leg in half. So 3 days till the fight, still don't have an opponent, still training hard. I finished training on the 2nd. I've got 2.5 days to recover and recuperate. And in the meantime, I fucking contracted a staph infection, got myself a cough, and just overall was not feeling great, and just spent a lot of time wasting time, not really, focusing on like recovery and meditation and mental preparation or whatever the fuck. So I was like, oh fuck, well, this is gonna be difficult, but I train like a motherfucker, win or learn, doesn't really matter, whatever the fuck. Monday comes around, I start prepping, start packing my shit for my flight tomorrow. So Monday is today, yeah, the 4th. Start packing my shit for my flight tomorrow. Get my pre-fight burrito, because I've decided that's now a thing. Pre-fight burrito, bunch of sports drinks, and I picked up like 2 coffees and an energy drink. I'm starting to get nervous. I'm like, still don't have an opponent, don't want to ask, but my coach says I'm fighting tonight, so fuck it, whatever. I put on some jazz music. The time's rolling around. I'm shadowboxing a bit, lowering my heart rate because it's like fucking pounding in my chest. And that was one of the problems last time I was listening to like really intense music. And that was like, pumping the adrenaline around my fucking body. And my punches were weak as shit because I just had the fucking adrenaline dump that lots of people do on their first fight. So time comes around, we go to the venue. I'm fight number 4. My coaches start wrapping my hands. As he's wrapping my hands, he asks me like, you know who your opponent is? I'm like, nah. Who is it? He points to a super fucking tan Thai guy in his like, I don't know, like late 30s, maybe something like that. Really intense looking, tatted up. The real deal. And I'm like, shit. Well, fuck it, bro. We're here. Let's get it done. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Fights go on. 1, 2, 3. Trying to keep my heart rate low. So, light shadow boxing, but don't really do anything too intense. Finally, it's my turn to fight. I walk up to the ring with my coach. I get in the ring, and they introduce us both. And my opponent gets in. I don't have my contact lenses either, so I can't see shit, but just like, My opponent gets in the ring, and the announcer goes, and this is this Thai guy with a record of over 100 fights and, fucking 60 plus victories. He is the undefeated Ko Pangan champion, or, something along the lines of that. That's not verbatim, but the 100 fights part is verbatim. So I just, internally shit myself, but like very low key, because I managed to keep my heart rate low, which I was quite happy with. I do my Y crew, little dance, respect to the coaches, go around the ring. I go back to my corner. Everybody's looking kind of like, well, try your best. Don't try not to die. The head coach's wife tells me, be careful, don't get elbowed. That's how I lost my first fight as well, knockout by elbow. And then we get into it, touch gloves. I throw the first punch because I planned that shit, because last time I was reacting from the get-go because my opponent kicked me first, and then I reacted from there and panicked. So I threw the first punch. It was a jab, very light, but he stood back, and as I approached forward to jab, I planted my foot, and I was going for another one, and boom, leg kick, left leg, right above the knee. Holy shit, bro. It was a loud ass sound, man, like a slab of meat being thrown against a hard concrete wall. Actually, no, a hard concrete wall being thrown against a slab of meat midair. I was like, fuck, man, I cannot eat any more of those. I do not want to get hit by any more of those. So I start using my hands a bit. I throw a few left kicks, hit him decently well. They're okay. Not a lot of power behind him because I guess I was afraid of like hitting his elbow or some shit. He's not super aggressive. I'm managing to be fairly aggressive, but as soon as I approach, he leg kicks me again. Same spot again. This time I had my foot up a little bit. I had my weight on my back foot, so my foot was slightly in the air. still hurt like a motherfucker. Not as much as the first one because my foot was planted, but this one still did bits. I pressed up, threw some punches. Did I get him with the elbow in the first round? All right, we'll watch the fight footage, see what the order is like. But first round was fairly like sabai, chill. We stood away from each other fairly decently, and apart from those big leg kicks and a few of my left body kicks that landed, not much happened. So the bell rings. I am relieved. I limp over to my corner. I sit down, get doused in ice water. One of my coaches is icing the fuck out of my left leg. Everybody's giving me advice, and I'm surprisingly coherent. I didn't get punched in the face a single time. It was just my left leg. So I'm taking everybody's advice. Stand southpaw, use your jab, knee a lot more. Keep pressing, be aggressive. Don't let him push you. Check your kicks. Another one of the fighters there, the Spanish dude, Paul, he was like, he's only looking at your legs, man. So check those kicks and keep pressing forward and use your arms and shit. Use your hands and shit. I took all of that on board somehow. So I went to the next round, immediately went southpaw. He tried to throw a kick. I managed to avoid it. Got some decent punches in there. I swap back stance. He kicks me again. This time my leg was up, but he hits the shin. Still really fucking painful, and I wince visibly. Like I stumble a bit. My face goes, oh, fuck. And I have a slight limp now. Oh, my coaches also said don't give up. Fair enough. That was after the first round when I was limping like a motherfucker. So, I'm thinking, he's looking at my legs. I'm going to close the distance. I use some knees, and that gets him to back up a bit. They don't actually make contact, but the fact that my legs are so fucking long and I'm flexible enough to throw them near his face gets him like standing back. And then I managed to we go in the clinch a few times. I hit him a few times. We're about to tie up again, and I managed to push over his arm, and I elbow him in the face twice. Hard. First one's hard as fuck, and then I managed to get another quick one in right after that. I push him away, and he's looking dazed, man. He's looking dazed as fuck. He falls back on the ropes a little bit, and his eyes are like wild. But he's still on his feet. So, the crowd's cheering me on. He throws a few more leg kicks, and I think one of them connects, but it doesn't. He's dazed and not really super on it right now. And then, I throw a few punches that gets him to fall back a bit, throw a few knees to get in close. And then where I'm facing my corner. We're standing apart from each other. He's taking a little break to breathe, and he has his right hand down, left foot forward, and he's a bit dazed. And I think, fuck, there's only one thing I can really do here, or, let's try some shit. Spinning elbow, full connection, flat out on the tarp. I act like I won, just in case the judges pull some shit, because, foreigners don't usually win unless it's a proper knockout. I'm staring at him at the tarp, getting ready to keep fighting in case he gets back up again. But all in all, I act like I won. And then the judges call it. They lift my hand in the air. I'm the fucking winner. I bow everywhere, and I go back over to my corner. snap some photos of me. Everybody's super pleased. I get out of the ring, get to the floor. As soon as I step out of the ring, I feel my left leg intensely. It's like throbbing. The knee's already fat, but you know, I got the win. So that was my second fight. I sit back down, ice my leg, immediately feel my entire shin, my lower, the area right above my knee, and my left shin swell the fuck up very painfully. So I ice that shit, take a few pictures with people while they're oh fuck. Take a few pictures with people while they're taking off my hand wraps. I sit down, ice my leg, and just chill. And yeah, now I have a flight tomorrow. My leg's still swollen as a bitch. I bought some like really strong Thai legal, I think they're opioids, painkillers, a little bit stronger than ibuprofen and paracetamol, just in case. I'm gonna avoid using it at all costs, but I need to I need to travel across the world over the next 2 days, and I have a big ass backpack to do that with, and the limp on the leg. So if I need to take some painkillers in order to get my ass onto that flight, is what is. I'm gonna do my best to avoid that shit at all costs. Cool. So now I'm just chilling. I'm gonna get some sleep soon. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go say bye to everyone at the gym. Then I'm gonna go drop my scooter off. Then I'm gonna take a taxi from the scooter place to my hotel, and then from the hotel to the ferry. And then from the ferry, I take the ferry to Koh Samui. I should have a transfer to the airport there. And then I chill in the airport until like 7 p.m. I fly from Samui to Bangkok. And then I have another transfer from the airport to a nice hotel. And then I sleep and recover in there. And then the next morning, I have another transfer back to the airport. And then I get on my plane, I fly to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam, I go to my place. So I need to do all of that with a swollen leg. I have not been leg kicked this hard because my previous fight, it was really short and I didn't really get hit too much apart from the knockout. And even the knockout didn't hurt that much. It was just more of a daze than anything. So we'll see how painful this is tomorrow and then go from there. All right, bro. Well, this has been fun. We'll see what the next one is.